Hey, YouTube, it's Kristin with Canterbury Lane Designs, and welcome to my channel. So today I want to talk to you about booth business, the vintage booth business, the handmade booth business. If you are a maker, creator, curator, picker, furniture artist, and you are looking to open up your own booth, I've got some tips on how to get started, what to look for, and those things. So grab you something to drink, some coffee, Dr. Pepper. I love my Dr. Pepper. And let's dive in. Okay, guys, so tip number one is going to be deciding on whether you are going to do this as a hobby or a business. I personally do this as a business, which means I have invested money. I have set myself up as a sole proprietorship, and I have my own bank account for the business. I personally think that that is the route to go. However, I completely understand that there are people who do this as a hobby or a little side hustle and that sort of thing. Most of the stuff that I'm going to be talking to you about and the tips that I'm going to give you are really going to be from a business perspective. So that is my first tip. Decide what you're going to do. Are you going to do this? Are you going to take this serious and be a business and set it up as a business? Or is this going to be a hobby? Either one is perfectly fine. But like I said, I will be talking to you more from a business perspective, seeing as that's how I treat mine. Okay, so tip number two is pretty simple. That is decide what it is you're going to sell. And 9 times out of 10, you probably already know what you're going to sell. But if not, here are a few ideas. You could sell high-end antiques. You could be a high-end antique dealer. How about a picker where you're going out to estate sales and yard sales and flea markets and finding vintage items? You're turning around, you're cleaning them up, you're reselling them. How about handmade items? Do you make handmade jewelry? Do you make some type of artwork? Handmade home decor? Handmade furniture? You could do that. How about a furniture flipper? Do you want to buy and resell furniture that you have fixed up or painted and flipped? What about being a wholesale dealer? You can buy wholesale items, whether that be home decor or boutique style clothing, and put them in a booth and turn around and sell that. So there are many options there. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, you already know what you want to sell, but in case you don't, that is tip number 2, is to decide what it is you're going to sell. Okay, tip number 3, location. Location, location, location. It is probably one of the top tips that I can give you to succeed in this business. Once you have decided what it is you're going to sell, now we can decide the location. Keep in mind, if you are in a rural area, you may have to drive a little farther for the best location. Then again, you may not. It just depends. Here in Birmingham, we have several different vendor style malls. We have our high-end antique malls, which are basically nothing but high-end antiques. So obviously something like that, you're not going to want to bring in your handmade furniture because those clients are looking for high-end antiques. We also have what is called a flea mall here in the Birmingham area, and it is basically, you may find rusty, crusty, vintage items on one aisle. You may find old vintage tools on another one. You may find high-end antiques on another aisle. And then on the last aisle, you may find socks. True story. You may find socks. It is crazy. But the the vintage flea malls are basically, come on in, whatever you want to sell, we'll sell. Does that mean that you're going to sell it? No, but it's an option. And then another style of vendor booth we have here in Birmingham is a mercantile or a marketplace. This is going to be a little bit higher end. They're going to set their standards a little bit higher than your flea mall booths. You're going to be able to find handmade jewelry. You're going to be able to find handmade artwork, flipped furniture, new items, wholesale items. You may find some boutique style clothing in there, handmade items. These type of stores are going to more than likely be higher end decorated. The vendors take a little bit more pride in their work. You're going to see that in these style of vendor booths. So to me, that is a great option. But it may not be for you. Another type of store we have here in Birmingham, which is personally my favorites, are the mercantiles and the marketplaces. These places are going to have the handmade jewelry, artwork, handmade furniture, flipped furniture, new items, wholesale items, boutique style clothing. These are going to have an array of business owners, is how I like to put it. You're going to walk into these stores and these vendor booths are going to be set up like their own little shop. Which is so cool, because you walk into these stores and they are going to be more curated. They're going to be more appeasing to the eye. It's just a higher clientele, I feel like. Once you've decided what type of store is going to best suit you, you're going to want to go in on a busy day. These are usually on Saturdays and Sundays. You're going to want to go in, you want to see what the foot traffic is like. What are customers buying? Is the store clean? Are there vendors in there where you can maybe talk to some vendors and just kind of get their ideas and thoughts on the location? Are the employees interacting with the customers? That's a big one, because you want to know that you are going to be in a store where the owners and the employees care enough to help you grow your business. So definitely go into these stores, maybe even twice before you decide on that location, just to kind of see how everything is. How is it ran? Does it meet your standards? I mean, there is nothing wrong with being picky. This is your business. This is going to be your shop. You are going to be a shop owner within a location. So be picky. Decide on where it is that you want to be. And then you're going to want to double check that they have some availabilities. Is there a waiting list? Sometimes there are, and that's okay. If the location that you feel is best suited for you has a waiting list, wait. Take your time. Go ahead and be getting your furniture or your handmade items, be working on them, getting them ready. That way, when they call you and say, hey, we have a booth available, you just come on in, you bring your items in, and you're good to go. There is nothing worse than being impatient and getting in the wrong location and you're spending, out-of-pocket money that you didn't have. So definitely wait on the right location for you and do your research. That is a big one. Okay, tip number 4 is more like a question. How will you stand out? How is your booth going to stand out from others? What can you do to your booth that when the customer walks by it, something catches their eye? That can be how you display something. That can be the colors you choose in your booth. What about if you were able to paint the walls? Something in there needs to draw their attention. Now, I can't personally tell you what's going to draw everybody's attention. You're going to kind of have to do your own research. So when doing research, walk around the malls, get some ideas of what other people are doing. Go to other malls, out of your town and see what they're doing. Is there a unique booth in there that you're like, oh my gosh, my stuff would look really great styled like this? And kind of come back and apply those same ideas to your booth. Use Pinterest, use Instagram, use those social medias to kind of search and see what other people are doing and give you some ideas on how to decorate your booth. Because the bottom line is you want customers to come in your booth and shop. You need something that's going to draw them in, let them look around. You need some kind of wow factor. So your booth needs to have those multiple price points in order to generate sales. It just does. Not every day are you going to make a sale, but if you have different price points, you're more than likely going to, because you have given customers options. Okay, tip number 6, and it's our final one. Commit to working your booth. What I mean by that is you have to commit to this business. This booth business is a real legit business, which means you need to be in that booth at least twice a month, but more if you can, to work that booth. It needs to be cleaned, it needs to be refreshed, new items need to be coming in, stale items need to be moved around, it needs to be redecorated. Those types of things are what catches your repeat customers, because they're going to be like, you never know what's going to be in their booth, because they're constantly keeping it up and keeping it fresh. You also need to have a social media, I think. You cannot rely on that store to do your social media marketing. Yes, it is great if you can find a location that has social media and will help you market, but it's not their job to do so. It is your job to market it, and then it's an extra added plus that they do so. So if you don't have a Facebook page, get a Facebook page, get some pictures on Facebook, post some cute little things here and there of items you sell, and market it. Let people know where you are, where to find you. Market your items on Facebook Marketplace. That's another good way to work your business. I get probably 75% of my furniture sales come from the fact that I market them and put them on Facebook Marketplace. And then from there, I'm directing them to my booths inside the store. Okay, guys, so that is your 6 tips and tricks to starting your own booth biz. I hope these were helpful. I'm sure there is more tips and tricks out there that over time I will come across, and I may have to update this. But for now, I think these 6 will definitely get you started on the right pathway to success. If you have any questions or comments or tips and tricks that you've used that works, please just comment and post them below. I would love to get your feedback on this. And until next time, love you guys.